Let me ask you a question, whoever's on here, because I'm getting shadow banned. Don't know who's watching, don't know who's liking or anything like that. It's okay though, because I know I'm getting the word out, because I got a bunch of Facebook friends. Cannot wait to see me every day. Now, if it was up to you, bullies and trollers, we would be buried and gone. I said buried and gone. But you're going to be buried and gone with the elites, since you don't want to help the crusades that's going to bring down the NWOs. It's okay. It's okay. Renegades up, right, dumbass? Hey, Mad Dog, found out where you lived. You're in Seattle. Yep. Seattle Seahawk fan, huh? You still at it again? I'm going to help you out. Stay away from me, or I'm going to have I got your address, your face, and your family, Mr. Drunk. Yeah, I seen you drunk on your YouTube channel. You stay away from me, or I'm going to have your face splattered all over the internet for you, buddy. And where you live. I'm not playing, guys. Jason. Texas, right? Jason Jurgensen. I'm not playing. Bring it. That's all I got to say. Bring it. You said you're going to shut me down. I'm still here, fuckhead. Shut me down. And when you shut me down, ask Julian Assange and Edward Snowden and Kevin Shipp why they walked away from the pedophile government. And why I'm working with them. To keep you safe, stupid fuck. I'm not here to play games today. I'm here to tell you that Washington State has had some earthquakes today. Even Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, all around the area where the volcano is supposed to erupt. Now, tomorrow's the 28th. And all these earthquakes are happening right now. They said just a while ago the earthquakes could make the volcano erupt. Now, this is what else I want to tell you. Only way that thing will erupt if they bring in a drone and put explosives down in there. And that's what I think is going to happen. Everything is a 9/11 plot since then. How are they going to bring down California? Just like the 9/11 buildings, bombs, and missiles. So I want you to know that right now. If you don't like the truth, go back to them fake ass channels like John X Army. He ain't done a damn thing. He said that the economy was going to get better with Trump. Looks like Obama's economy. If you want to know the truth. So don't come at me and tell me I'm doing wrong when you're doing wrong. Lisa Haven, there's a guy named Breaking News using your videos. You can get him for copyright. Just like BP Earthwatch got a copyright from Fox. Alright. Let's get going. Mary Greeley has some news about the volcano that I've been talking about. Yellowstone, right? She thinks the geyser could go off today or tomorrow again. We're waiting on it, okay? We're waiting on it. That's all I can say. Alright, let's get going. Where's the... By the way, breaking news, by the way. The Flying Soldiers looks just like the movie, if you haven't heard, looks like the movie Iron Man. And what did Obama say a couple of years ago? Oh yes, you know I've been very, very busy. I've been building Iron Man. And he's right. They have. In Europe. We got some news on World War III. Flashpoint. I've got the map. I'm putting it on my Facebook. And I think I've already did. I've been so dang busy I ain't even got to show you everything. Antifa gets knocked out by one punch. That will be on my other YouTube channel. Rest in peace, the NWO Real News. With music. Because if I say anything, they kind of stuttering Obama. Karma on Clinton's. U.S. court asks for more. Let's see here. What does it say? We'll go to that one first. Because he's actually one of my heroes, and he's one of the ones that I've been speaking for. U.S. courts ask for more material to unseal charges against Assange. Yes, your U.S. wants to stop the truther Assange. Do you know why? Do you even know why? Because he wants to bring down the pedophiles. European too. How about that one? Enjoy. We're going to let you look at that one first.
Against Assange have been filed or made public. However, there was a prosecutor who hopes that a clearer picture would emerge as to whether the former WikiLeaks frontman Julian Assange will face charges in the US have been put on hold. It's after a hearing brought by journalists to have official information unsealed was adjourned. Gillian Morpen explains. At this point, we've heard an inconclusive ruling from the judge. The judge has come forward and said that supplemental material needs to be provided before a ruling can be given. Now, this is all related to the fact that there has been a grand jury in Alexandria, Virginia, that has been hearing testimony related to Julian Assange. Now, at this point, no public charges against Assange have been filed or made public. However, there was a prosecutor file that was released to the public, and now we have the Reporters Committee, that it's called, that is filing that all charges against Julian Assange be unsealed. They're saying that it should be made public if there are any files, any criminal charges against Assange. Now, the prosecution is arguing that rather that those charges should remain sealed until the time that Julian Assange was arrested. Now, at this point, it cannot be confirmed or denied whether or not there are charges against Assange, and whether or not that information will be public is what we are waiting for the court to rule. They will come back with a ruling after another hearing in a week. Now, at this point, people are speculating that Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks, could be charged for possibly for releasing files related to Iraq and Afghanistan and U.S. military activities there. He could also be charged for releasing classified diplomatic cables. Most recently, he did release information related to CIA cybersecurity programs. Now, it's also important to note that Julian Assange, who remains walled up in the Ecuadorian embassy in London, that he recently lost a case against the government of Ecuador and has been required to live under some new house rules. He's being required at this point to take care better of his cat, to clean the bathroom, and to pay for his own food. Let's review some of the rules that Julian Assange is having to live by in the Ecuadorian consulate, Ecuadorian embassy in London. Now, at this point, Julian Assange has had to give up his cat. His cat has been given up. And at this point, this has been almost 6 years that Julian Assange has been held and basically remained in the Ecuadorian embassy. Now, at this point, he has been granted Ecuadorian citizenship, and it's now been revealed that Ecuador attempted to give Julian Assange the status of a diplomat, and that would enable him to have diplomatic immunity so he could then get to the airport and flee the country. However, he was not granted diplomatic status. So at the moment, Julian Assange remains in the embassy, and at this point, it is still not public. As the hearing concludes in Alexandria, Virginia, it's still not public whether or not he's facing criminal charges in the United States.
So, what do you think about that, folks? I think, if you want to know the truth, Julian Assange is waiting on Trump to wake his ass up, because Putin told him today that if he don't straighten up, there will not be a meeting at the G20 this week. Sure, it's funny. December the 1st is closing in, folks. And he's supposed to meet with who? Vladimir Putin? Could it be what I said months ago, that it could happen? That KGB is going to be on Trump's tail? Makes you want to say, on it. Let's go to the, where's she at? Mary Greeley, right? Let's go back to Mary Greeley. Where you at, Mary? Just like and share and subscribe. That's all I'm asking. The ones that's on my Facebook donating, thank you. We really appreciate it. Let's see here. Big news coming out of UN threatens. We got a good one on that one I want y'all to hear. And we're going to let y'all hear it. There's even news on Corsi, declined deep state. If you have not heard about that, that is big. Where's he at? Where you at? Where'd it go? Mary? Did you disappear? Where did Mary go? Mary, Oh, there she is. There it is. Here we go. Yellowstone. Breaking news.
There's the pre-meeting briefing, the pre-meeting, the meeting, then the post-meeting sync. We only have one meeting.
I don't care. All right. Yellowstone super volcano 11/27/18. Remember, in the movie Super Volcano, it was the 28th that it erupted. But the earthquake's got to happen before the volcano erupts. Remember that. The earthquake will happen first. I haven't heard from Dutch Sense in a while. I have a feeling we're going to hear about him tonight. Earthquake not reported by USBS. We call it USBS instead of USGS. Get it? Oh, and enjoy my Abdullah that I created. Champion versus champion WCW. And AJ Styles used to be with WCW, if you did not know that, back in the day. All right, check this out.
Hi everyone, I'm Mary with Mary Greeley News. Here's an update what's going on with Yellowstone. I don't think Steamboat Geyser will go off today. It's trying.
Yeah.
It'll probably go off tomorrow. It's only been 5 days, 11 hours, and 16 minutes ago that Steamboat Geyser erupted. It's been shortening its eruption time of late. Here we got 8 days, 7 days, 7 days, 7 days, 6 days. Here on Tantalus Creek, they show the discharge rate of the water. The last eruption was on the 15th and the 21st. You can see during eruptions of Steamboat how it spiked. There might have been a small eruption on the 24th, and that one was a long duration, but it was probably just a very short in height eruption, and with no one there, of course, it wasn't recorded. But after each eruption, you can see how the water that came out dropped, and then it slowly built up again. And it's doing that now, but I really don't think it'll erupt until tomorrow. It could erupt today, but only if there's an earthquake that disturbs the system. About 2 hours ago, there was probably a series of earthquakes. You can see them right here, probably close to the Yellowstone Lake area. Here we have Norris Junction in the middle. Down at the bottom is the canyon. This one earthquake at 11:46, 11:47, actually none of these are being reported yet, but it was large enough to be felt across the park. You can see that on all three monitors there. And this here is the borehole for Yellowstone Lake. It's marked in red, meaning the computer picked these earthquakes up. Now, boreholes are very deep wells. They're dug into the ground about 500 feet down where the monitors are at. So it doesn't pick up any outside noise. Here we have the monitor for Grant. Now, Grant is near the southern edge of Yellowstone Lake, kind of southwest. All marked in red, so is that one. And then we got a little one there. It's early there, probably about 6:34 a.m., so they're not in there to report these. There was several yesterday that they reported. Here we got up there by Haken Lake, same area. This one was Lincoln, Montana, that's up north. Manhattan, that was a 1.8. Also yesterday, where's that one? Down south. Right there. That was a 2.0. And then the day before, a 1.4, Dillon, Montana. That was on the 25th. The outside rim of the caldera for Yellowstone runs along near Haken Lake. Now I want to show you this monitor, which is on the southern end of the lake. You can see here we got a general trend going up. Last measurements were done on October 26th. But this whole area, if you drew a circle, is showing uplift going all the way up towards the Vault Mammoth Hot Springs. Now we know we have a bulge in the center of Yellowstone Lake. It's actually got spreading going on. So before I go back to that area, I wanted to show you this. This monitor on the edge, the western edge, northwest of Yellowstone Lake. This monitor, they only read off and on, not all the time. Last reading was October 17th. There's the uplift, and it's measured in millimeters. It's showing uplift since the last time they took it, last year sometime, of almost 3 inches, and I talked about this before. The next monitor I'm going to show you, the last reading was taken on the 25th. Here we can see we got a trend going down lately. As the lake floor tips, that northeastern side rises, this on the opposite side goes down. The next GPS, the tilt meter I'm going to show you, is a little bit more west. That's Little West Thumb. There's Yellowstone Lake. After rising for a while, it suddenly went down. I think that's because of the area by Hebgen Lake, which is now rising. Here we have Hebgen Lake. This is the next monitor I'm going to show you. And here you can see the steady uplift that's going on. The next monitor I'm going to show you is a little bit further north from Hebgen Lake. Here too you can see the steady uplift that's been going on. Last time it was measured was November 10th. And it's steadily going up with a quick little jump towards the north. But we also have a steady rise going towards the east. So this whole area is...
What's up, Paul?
Uplifting. The next one I'm going to show you is Mammoth Hot Springs on the Wyoming-Montana border. Highest uplift since they started recording, keeping tabs.
Well, just looking at the 28th. Sure does look grim, guys. I mean, we have Russia and Trump don't want to meet at the G20. Things about to hit hard, boys. I told you so, but nobody wouldn't listen. Looks pretty bad, don't it, Argentina?
On this since before 2000. The direction of north is going down, where east is rising. So east would be over here, north up here. Gives you a little bit better idea of the bulge that is growing. Next one I'm going to show you is a little bit closer to Hebgen Lake. Highest uplift that's going on now since they started recording in about 2007 and 8. North is rising slowly, but east is rising the most. Again, showing uplift in this area. A little bit farther north, highest uplift since they've been recording in east. North is slowly, the general trend is also going up. And on the whole, yeah, you can see that there. Last recording was taken on November 25th. Here we have the spectrogram for Yellowstone Lake. You can see intrusion there, there, there. And I'll pull this up for you.
A lot of people probably didn't know this, but Kane used to wrestle at WCW. I created Arn Anderson in the WCW Thunder ring, so enjoy.
And I'll make it bigger for you. You get it to pull up. Here we go. Now the spectrograms are from yesterday. It shows us when the earthquakes occur. That brings up gases and magma. And I'll pull this over. And it also shows us the pockets of melt. I don't know how deep the current pockets of melt is. That information is kept from us. The tilt meter for Yellowstone Lake, remember, when it's showing all these dots, and it's not like a constant thin line, means there's lots of shaking going on. Now again, take notice of which direction the uplift is going. Top measures north, bottom is east. As the east side of Yellowstone Lake rises, the western side drops down. I think we have spreading still going on from that dome that's at the bottom of Yellowstone Lake. And this is from the last 7 days. Yeah, all the earthquakes, right? It's a good example of all the earthquakes they do not report. The last 30 days, again, top is north, bottom is east. And the uplift for the last 30 days. So many earthquakes, it's just a blob. The spectrogram for Grant, again, same intrusion right there, 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 and there. I'll make that bigger also. And this is from the last 24 hours. These monitors are from yesterday. They're always a day behind. This is Grant, the southern end of Yellowstone Lake. The tilt meter for Grant, top is north. See all the dots? Bottom is east, uplift. Last 7 days. So many earthquakes, it's just a blob. The last 30 days, top is north, so we do have a trend of the whole area rising. Bottom is east. Last 30 days. The spectrogram for the Madison River area. See that? And then the tilt meter for the Madison River area. Top is north, lots of shaking going on. Bottom is east, uplift. Last 7 days, look at all the earthquakes. General trend is basically up, but it's moving a little bit northwest. And then the last 30 days, top is north, bottom is east. And big blob. Now for the Norris Junction area, I did 2 different enhancements. This one I didn't enhance. I should say I just did 1 enhancement. The colors are so washed out. But down here, this is the only one that's working, taking ancient helium and methane reading, gas readings, and this one would be sulfur dioxide. If I just slightly enhance the colors, you can see how black the sulfur dioxide that's coming up through the ground, and this is a borehole about 500 feet under the ground. How much sulfur dioxide is coming up. What makes it so dangerous is there's a cap of rhyolite holding much of the gases under the ground. And here we have the tilt meter for Norris Junction. See all the shaking? Top is north, bottom is east, again, uplift in the east. The earthquakes, the tilt meter for the last 7 days. Here we have the chart for the last 30 days. Top is north, bottom is east. Then we have the tilt meter for the last 30 days. Top is north. See, now this is closer to the area where I told you the uplift was going on. And look at that. Just a blob. Again, I'll show you that. This is the area of uplift. And the uplift actually is extending all the way up towards the Mammoth Hot Springs area. It looks like we have a little bit more melt. It's currently almost 7:30. It's actually 7:22 a.m. there. The melt that you see actually comes from the hydrothermal system that's behind here that feeds into Old Faithful. It's part of the parking lot, the visitor center, the hotel, etc. Well, someone must be up there moving the camera. So if any thoughts or comments or questions, please put it down below. I'll do another report when Steamboat Geyser goes off. In the meantime, please stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.
She's right on it, guys. I really think something's about to happen in Yellowstone because we are getting earthquakes all around the area. So let me check something. I don't know what's going on yet. Yeah, let's see here. Okay, you still there, Paul? All right. How is everybody today? I know I don't feel good, but I'm still here giving y'all the news because y'all need it. Everybody else has went to sleep besides Lisa Haven. She's woke up. It's about time. We got a hell of a story in a minute. So there you have it. What's up, Holly? Share this, please. If you want me to stay, look, my true YouTube channel, believers that believes in me, in Julian Assange, and Kevin Shipp, and Edward Snowden, they said y'all need to start sharing. Seriously, you are running out of time. And if you don't, the blood is on your hands, is what Jesus says. That's all I can say. I gotta warn my Facebook friends. I forgot to share this on my 5 Facebook, so I'm doing that right now. Just hold on, folks, because it's about to get down and ugly for everyone. You're about to hear it in a minute. The Agenda 2030. I don't know why everybody said Agenda 21. I really don't. Because I was never a big fan of the Agenda 21 because there's not one. It's a false. And I'm about to show you that in a minute. Just giving you a heads up. So just want you to understand this, folks. The end is near for you, public. You don't fight back, you dead. And that's what the New World Order is looking at. They're trying to see if you're going to fight back, fight against them for your American and your freedom. And if you don't, well, it's over. That's all I can say. And it looks like y'all have been throwing the white flag and you're giving up. Because I knew you would give up. I'm not. I'm not giving up on these kids. And I certainly am not going to give up on life. And for my grandfather. My grandfather fought World War II. If some of you didn't know that. And the pedophilia is going to stop. It's going to stop. You've got 6 months before they legalize it. Remember, tomorrow is a big day for Pelosi. And for all of y'all. Because your rights are getting stripped left and right now. I want you to know that. There's a lot of news here. Mass immigration, the white replace. What is that? What is she talking about? There's a lot of news, guys. Do we need to go to that first? All right. Former Navy speaks out. Jennifer. Veterans for Life, for Truth.
There's no excuse for what they did to you. It's a hate crime.
It's a miracle he survived.
I got your back.
I swear to God, man, these commercials are awful this year.
Are white people to blame for the decline in our population, creating the need for this mass immigration that is occurring in all of the Western civilizations, such as Europe, United States, Canada, Sweden, Germany, etc.? Well, many people might think that's crazy, but let's look at the facts and the studies. From the Delaney site, if you didn't see that, I'll go ahead and tell you what the projections were. It stated that in the United States, our population is going to drop from 326 million to only 99 million citizens by 2025. Yeah, that's extremely shocking. That's a drop of 226 million people. We all know that population numbers have always gone up and down throughout the years.
Wow.
So is it something that we should
y'all better wake up,
about?
or 99 million of you dead.
So,
dumbass.
I'm overly excited, but concerned in a big way. For many years, we've all heard that there are too many people on the planet, but that's complete nonsense. It's just absolutely false. There are too many people in certain areas. Yes, that's true. But in order to sustain a population and a country and the economy, you must have the same amount of children being born as the people that are dying, or more. More is usually better, because then you can have, anyway. But in the case case of many Western countries and even places like Japan and a few other countries, there is an extreme difference in the number of babies being born compared to the number of people dying, aging, or getting to that age where they're retiring, no longer in the workforce. And so they're not able to replenish that, for lack of a better term, the population. There are, however, many factors that go into this and that could have been prevented, but we also have to look at maybe ourselves. Maybe we are to blame for being so easily manipulated, naive, maybe selfish. I don't know. After doing a lot of research, reading many...
Jennifer, it's selfish. Everybody online is selfish. Yeah, you're right, Durka. I'm not trying to mess up your name. I hope I'm not doing it wrong. But I've got one eye, and I'm doing this with one eye, and half of these people online and the people that followed Q and the sheep, the YouTube channels that's making the money off of this is stupid. Just want to know. I mean, they're giving John X Army, just found this out. He's been in jail for heroin and prostitution, selling prostitutes and kids. I did not know that. So yeah, it's nice to meet you. I'm not talking as much. I'm letting them talk, and then I'm going to agree with them. I'm not feeling good, guys. I really am not. I feel like shit today, but so I'm doing the best I can. This is the only way I can get the news out is on gaming. They are really shutting down the truthers. And ex-CIA and ex-NSA told me to do it this way, and it's working. So I hope y'all enjoy the game designs of Chavo Guerrero and the WCW Thunder Arena.
Articles and scientific studies, the trends of our populations and such.
Well, if we don't get 99, like she just said, if we don't get 99 million of you awake, you're dead. That's all I got to say. I thought it was going to be 50 more million because I've already woke up 5 million of y'all, and with 5 channels. But good God Almighty, my work is not done. Take some CBD oil and vitamin C. Yeah, what's left of vitamin C? You know, vitamin C's almost gone. Everything's almost gone, partner. I don't know if you're a girl or a man, but I'm just trying to, straighten things out there. But y'all do need to share. If y'all want me to stay on here, guys, y'all got to share. I mean, seriously. If you don't share on your Facebook, nobody's going to wake up. And your kids are about to be raped and murdered in 6 months. Do you realize that, folks? The UN is about to come in here and stick a gun straight up your ass, and you're going to feel it.
I do believe that there has been a concerted effort to actually reduce the white population and to make everyone one mixed race. And it seems to be working actually pretty well, because the ones that have suffered the most is hands down, no doubt, the people of European descent, meaning the white race. There is such a thing that they are calling the replacement plan, trying to say that we need to have more people immigrate here and in Europe and those type of places because of the decline in our population. But could that have been avoided? I mean, if they were really worried about the decline in our population, they wouldn't just make more people come into.
They're blaming us on climate change right now, folks. EU, the UN, the big world bankers, they're about to jack up tax, folks. If you don't stop the carbon dioxide, I've got a story that's going to blow you away, folks. I may come back at 9 o'clock Central Time if you start sharing, liking, and subscribing, because I've got a hell of a story that's going to blow you away. Seriously, how much minutes? I got 27 minutes on this video. Let's see here, 25 minutes on this one, and then we'll go to the next one. Hopefully we'll have time. If we don't, I'll do a overtime deal so we can get it all in. I don't want y'all to miss this. Y'all going to be shocked what the UN has announced today.
Our country, they could have done other things. But
I will tell you this. You've got 12 years to prepare on that part. I will tell you that much. But you've got 11 years until the robots come in. I think everything's set up for these robots, folks. I really do. On purpose. It's not going to be aliens, guys. It's going to be robots. Looking like people.
That's obviously is not the case. It's obvious that they honestly don't want more white children to sustain our population, in my mind and from what everything is actually saying. But how could this have been avoided or prevented? Well, if we look to countries like Russia, Hungary, Denmark, Italy, they implemented incentive programs to create like an artificial...
Look, I want you to know this right now, okay? I don't have a problem with transgender, gay, bi, straight, okay? That's y'all's deal. I don't blame you on that. I blame the government on that. But I will tell you this, okay? How can I say this? In a way that you will understand. Barack Hussein Obama, Trump, the Bushes, the Clintons, and the Podestas, and all the other elites, even the 13 world banks, are all together to ruin the country and you. I want you to know that right now. Nobody is safe. The only way we're going to win is to work as a team. Yeah. 12 years is going to be big.
Baby boom. We're all aware of the baby boom from the 50s, after World War II, 50s and 60s. Well, Russia, Hungary, Denmark, Italy, and maybe a few other countries decided in order to keep their population sustainable, they created an incentive program, which it was like an artificial baby boom. And it's actually working very well. The breakup of the Soviet Union in the 90s created many hardships on people, which led to a stark decline in people having babies. And in order to combat that, Putin and other leaders of other countries put in a program that would incentivize people to have more children. It included stuff like giving extended leave for mothers to stay home, mortgage subsidies, childcare subsidies, and things like that to have second, third children. Because they realized if they didn't do something, that they would be in a situation that Europe and the United States are in right now with our population, which was very smart, because they cared about keeping their population and their culture. But we didn't do that. Nope. Instead, our installed puppet leaders, catering to the Zionist globalists, created wars across the world and opened the floodgates to immigration. Many people have mentioned the word white, or the phrase white genocide, but many people say that this is just some type of myth and we're just making that up. Unfortunately, it's not a myth. They just don't understand exactly what kind of genocide is. Not exactly what people would think of as a traditional genocide. This genocide that people are speaking of, that is actually happening right now, has been done by creating wars, mass immigration against our will, with different types of psychological manipulation, propaganda, of white guilt programming, empty words of equality to...
No, it's not gone, Dakota. It's never going to be gone. It's going to be gone if y'all don't work together. Yeah, but it's not going to be gone. Do you realize how many people's behind me? Ex-CIA, ex-NSA, Edward Snowden, Kevin Shipp. I've got Julian Assange on my side. There's nobody going to stop us. Nobody. Nobody. We're going to shut down their microchip before it even comes out. You know how? Because if they do bring it out, we're going to cut the power in their internet.
To ultimately have a mixed-race future. But, of course, let me reiterate that we do have to take some responsibility for it, for falling into their manipulation traps. And things like having children at an older age, due to college or not having money or whatever the case may be, which I understand the issues of childcare expenses. It is very expensive.
By the way, Shane Douglas, I created the franchise versus Papa Shanga. That's not one of mine that I created, but This is the WCW Arena Thunder. I hope y'all enjoy. Please share, subscribe. And the ones that's been donating on Facebook that come from YouTube, thank you. I really appreciate it. The kids and the Marines that walked away from the pedophile government that's homeless appreciates it too.
So how exactly did this all happen? Like I said, there's multiple factors. The media manipulation, academic stuff, Hollywood, the music industry have all played a strong hand in this, and we all know who owns those corporations. You may be asking, but how could they have played such a strong role to not have babies born, or whatever? Well, it all started back years and years ago when they started demonizing the nuclear family, fatherless homes, propping up the single motherhood as some type of heroic feat, pushing sexual deviancy and the transgender agenda, purposely lying about research that completely negates the truth about transgender being a psychological issue, by hiding the articles, creating fake articles, none of which have any. So ones that do have scientific backing, they have completely hidden. Pushing the homosexual agenda, even on Disney, Nickelodeon, all of these movies, and making it so cool to be sexually liberated, as they call it, propping up such things as sleeping around. It's totally okay. It's cool to be called a slut. No worries. There's the morning after pill. It'll be there. And how about abortions? With campaigns such as Shout Out Your Abortion. Having Shout Out Your Abortion Hollywood parties pushed by Hollywood actors and famous people, all the way up to even freaking Oprah, making young people feel like it's completely fine to just do whatever the hell they want to do. And the numbers don't lie. Children raised by single mothers in fatherless homes.
Now, who started the abortion? Which president started the abortion? If anybody knows the answer, you're getting a free movie. Comment it down below and down below after the show, or on my other YouTube channel. Sometimes I don't get y'all's comments for some reason. If you don't know what you're saying and you don't understand the rules, no more, wow, they're fighting. Dogs. Dogs are not even getting along no more, guys. The cat and dogs are. Sounds like a Ghostbuster commercial.
It shows unequivocally that children raised by single mothers account for the vast majority of people that are incarcerated, having abortions, dropping out of high school, and so many other things, psychological issues. I could go on and on. Children being raised in fatherless homes has gone through the roof, and it directly correlates with all of these issues that we're seeing today. I did an entire video on that if you want to check that out and see how I feel about that and the actual numbers. I put out all the actual numbers. Then we also have the third or fourth wave feminist movement, whatever they call it now, where they're demonizing men by using terms like toxic masculinity, promoting a single...
I know. I could have told you that, but the president that was running the White House was in the 90s. I will tell you that clue.
Or non-child lifestyle, claiming how bad it is to have children. Ridiculous. And then we also, of course, have the government that has produced a myriad of problems, like waging wars all over the world, sending our men to be killed or come back all freaking screwed up mentally and physically. And they are committing suicide at a rate of over 22 a day. And overdose and suicides are now the #1 killers of white men. And then, of course, we have the ridiculous false flags, the fake school shootings. Well, they are fake school shootings. The phantom terrorism, which creates fear in people to not want to bring children into the world of such chaos. I've even talked to people about this, people that don't have kids, and they're not awake to these fake situations, and they've often expressed that they don't want to bring a child into this crazy world because of all of these things that are going on. Oh, and then we have the social justice warriors that make us feel guilty for even wanting any type of immigration policies, wanting any type of borders, immigration reform. The mass immigration has completely taken a toll on our society. And now it's almost like we actually have to have the immigrants, because all of these issues with our population decline, in order to have people to work these jobs, if these numbers are correct, to prevent our economy from completely collapsing, which from all studies is showing that it absolutely 100% is going to collapse very soon, and it's going to be much worse than 2008. Sorry guys, I'm a little sick. Mass immigration, mainly illegal immigration, has drove down the wages of Americans, rendering them to feel as though they are unable to afford childcare, even just having children in general. When you have millions of people flowing into your country, with a vast majority upon arrival just put on some type of government assistance, some type of welfare, it creates issues. Heck, even freaking Hillary Clinton just made a statement on this in the UK, which I'm sure, obviously, she had some reason for it, but she stated something like, "Y'all need to get a hold to your mass immigration problem because it's causing the uprising of the pro-nationalist alt-right," whatever, which in reality, those people they speak of are just people like me that want to keep our country safe and preserve our culture and not turn it into a shithole country. But by creating a situation where what we did was we created a situation where we had more people that far outweighed the demand of jobs, coupled with the corporations leaving the country, going to Mexico, China, India, etc. This made companies not even need to compete for workers anymore. Then they used to have incentive packages, extra benefits, on-the-job training for high school. But they don't do that crap anymore because they know that they can get it done cheaper with immigrants, and that is absolutely sad. Jobs that were once respectable paying jobs that the media now claims Americans would never do and only the immigrants are going to do is absolutely false, because we've done them for years. I started working when I was, like 10. I would help my dad clean sites, he built houses. I cut grass in the neighborhood, me and my sister. We babysat. We did all kind of stuff, whatever. We started working and didn't pay us millions of dollars, like $10. And back in the 50s and 60s, janitors, receptionists, landscaping, construction workers, even up into the 80s, were decent paying jobs. Yet now the media is going to continue telling you that only illegals or immigrants are going to do those jobs. No one's going to scrub toilets for $8 an hour, which is absolutely nonsense, because I was helping clean houses with my for way less than $8 an hour. And according to any inflation index that you look at, those type of jobs now would actually be around $17 to $20 an hour, but they aren't because of what they did with the illegals, bringing them in, which made corporations not have to keep up with inflation. The wages have been able to stay down because they do whatever the crap they want. Then we had the recent recession bailing out the too big to fail Wall Street backhats, which is ridiculous. Then we had the mortgage situations, which was essentially...
Sorry about the background. We got Marines militia meeting with my stepfather, and you're probably hearing a bunch of racket back under there. That's former Navy Gerald. So he's they're getting ready for something to happen. We know it's about to happen, and we're just getting ready for December. So sorry about the background, but I hope y'all enjoy the game design of Dennis Rodman with the NWO in my WCW arena.
Done by political correctness. The majority of those mortgages that went unpaid were in fact mortgages that went to minorities due to certain agencies crying about racism and forcing the banks to give these mortgages to mainly minorities and immigrants, even though they didn't even qualify for them. Who ended up, what happened? Of course, being able to not afford their mortgage. Of course, it went into default and then subsequently foreclosed. And then we have a bunch of neighborhoods with nobody living in them. Okay, so we're going to look at some numbers that the New York Times did a poll looking at middle-aged and younger people that asked them what was preventing them from having children or having more than one child. Okay, right here we can see where the baby boom started, and then that stark decline that we had, and then it just kept dropping off and dropping off. This was not by race, but just by country, and then this...
looks like on this chart she's got here, in my chart, looks kind of similar, but my chart shows 2001 all the way to 2018. So this has been going on since the 9/11 plot. Just want y'all to remember that part. Okay, let's listen to what she says.
One we have is by race and ethnicity, and you can see that Hispanics are staying pretty steady at 2, and man, white babies being born is practically nothing. It's absolutely insane. Ever since that recession of 2008, which, I mean, people back in the day, they still had babies. You know, you just make it work. So last year was our lowest at 2.1, and then we dropped down to 1.76, which is not sustainable. We had less than 4 million babies born last year. That's the lowest number in 30 years. And then here we have the reasons that people say that they don't have kids, or that they don't have as many kids as they want. Child care expenses. They want to spend more time with their children that they have, which is silly, because I'm telling you, it's way better to have more than one kid. They like to play with each other, and it even shows in many studies that children that have siblings have higher IQ points. And then, like I said, the worried about economy, can't afford more children, waited because they were financially unstable, not enough paid time off, all of these things struggle.
Hey, I got a good one, Jennifer. If they would all get off the damn drugs and the alcohol and the cigarettes, like me, they would have something. Because I used to be on the stuff, and now I'm feeling a lot better.
With work-life balance, worried about climate change, for goodness frickin' sakes. Met a partner too late in life. Want more leisure time. Don't think they would be a good parent. Nobody knows if they're going to be a good parent. It's trial and error. And then we have the younger ones that were asked, and they were asked, they kind of have the same answers. Wanted more leisure time, haven't found a partner yet, can't afford it, don't know if they have a desire to have children, can't afford a house. A lot of this stuff is selfish reasons. It's absolutely very selfish. And not just selfish, it's just silly. Like, you know, people in the 50s, they had 8 kids and they still made it work. Our kids don't have to have $10,000 birthday parties and $1,000, you know, Christmas presents and stuff. That's the problem. It's not as much to have kids as people make it out to be. The child care expenses, I understand, but all of these excuses are just quite silly. And it just goes to show that those are the things that people worry about. Oh, well, they have to have the best clothes, they have to have, you know, the best birthday parties, the trips, and then the selfishness of, I want to spend time by myself, and then by the time they get to that age that they decide to have kids, they might not be able to. And so this is definitely the reason that the white population is being, like, completely erased. And we need to stop this. Have some more babies. Kids are 100% the most precious gift that you'll ever have. You don't know that if you'll be a good parent or not. Nobody does. But it's a learning process. And these, of course, are the cutest kids in the entire world. I might be a little bit biased. They are, right? Yeah, they are. I'm sure some of you people are thinking that, wait, isn't the government ran by white people? Well, no, not exactly. They don't consider themselves white at all. I won't say who they are because I don't want to get the channel struck, but you know who they are. But most of us know who they are. They consider them.
I'll tell you who they are. George Soros. the 13 world banks in China. I've got the balls of steel. Nobody else does.
Themselves globalists, internationalists. Well, for all other countries except their one that they call home.
I am your Dean Ambrose. Don't give a fuck what you think.
Israel. Internationalist, you know, and making the term nationalism some kind of dirty, racist word. These people really only have their own interests at heart. We all know that, in their pocketbook. And their power because they are narcissists. That's all they really care about. They demonize the word nationalism, and they realize who the majority of the population who's fighting against this globalist plan. We are the number one defense against their globalist plan and to shut down open borders. And nationalism is growing across the Western world. We also are the number one at fighting for free speech, liberty, prosperity, and limited government. Also holding politicians responsible for for their globalist issues. Well, we try to anyway. And we are the rebels against the globalists. They want a dependent, docile population that's easy control, and that's not the white people. In general, of course. We've established some of the greatest military weapons, innovation technologies, and built countries, vehicles, and we have the will to fight for so much more. And we fight hard when we need to. You know, we're silent for a while, but you push us so hard, and there we go. Although it's true that we have a lot of sociopathic, psychopathic, neocons, icons, whatever you want to call them, in the Western civilization. But that's not most of us. You know, they're always pushing violence and trying to destabilize everybody else's nations. But, you know, the majority of us want to just be left alone to raise our families, live in a stable, productive life that we've built. You know, we've built amazing colonies all around the world, building something from nothing, not having to depend on the government to save us, where we're highly sufficient, resourceful, innovative. We've done amazing things. We know how to live without Walmart and welfare, which is funny because we created Walmart and welfare. We are the wild card that cannot always be predicted. Some call us crazy.
Yeah, we created Walmart, not the government. Remember that, guys. We created everything, and they're blaming us for the climate change. You know what? We need to start blaming them. If you got the balls like I do.
That's fine. We like to keep them in a constant state of, what are they going to do next? We can move mountains when faced with incredible odds, to overcome obstacles, finding ways to survive whenever we need to, without any type of government helping us or telling us what to do. White people are independent business owners, inventors, problem solvers. We build prosperous systems in societies that generally work extremely, extremely well together. Europeans built Western civilizations. We've been rebellious and independent, which is a blessing, but right now it's a curse because we are also extremely naive and trusting. I don't like exactly being told what to do. We're not collectivist, and we're not easy to control like many other people. We question, we research, and challenge, we philosophize. Unfortunately, today, it's not exactly how it used to be because there's so many of us that have fallen to the docile liberalist, globalist plan. I don't know, it's just very strange what they're doing. You know, we don't comply just to some self-appointed authoritarian. So it takes a lot to break us down. I don't like to drink that Kool-Aid, although some people seem to be. You know, we're the ones fighting against the chemicals, the GMOs, and the health foods, fighting against vaccines and all those bad. We get made fun of. Oh, the white people are going to the health food stores. You know, we're really not a soft kill. We don't rely
By the way, Lindsay, my boss, LMT, try to comment. If it don't work, subscribe to me again. Whatever you said yesterday, I didn't get to see it all. My comments didn't even show up on the live feed after the show. So I don't know what is saying, what's going on, or anything like that. But we got to stop what we're saying. Seriously. The comments down below is getting deleted by you know who. Obama. He's the one that gave the internet to ICANN. October the 1st, 2016. It's been going on for a long time now. You're just now figuring it out. Lindsay, by the way, Lindsay Poor, your man, has a storyline January the 15th at Legacy Arena in Birmingham. SmackDown's coming to Birmingham, and it's going to be on Fox, not on USA. Fox has bought out USA and WWE. Enjoy. By the way, I created Ahmad Johnson. He used to be in the WCW. I don't know if you knew that or not, but now you do.
And on Big Pharma, although people are starting to have to, why people exist on every side of the spectrum. Don't get me wrong. Generally, we are kind, giving nature. And, sorry, not all of it is just for ourselves. We're not just materialistic. Many people know that, and they use those type of things against us. They take advantage of us, and they have for many years. We've enjoyed living in the most wealthy nations that we built for ourselves from nothing. We didn't receive some kind of package to here you go, some international organizations helping us, giving us secret tours to technology plants and factories so that we can go back and build them in our country, which is fine. We like to help people, but it is seeming to lead to our demise because of our niceness, and industrialness came from white people, from our minds, from our hands. But of course, we are more, than just that. We're inspired by so many things. We really look at things different than everyone else, in my mind.
Oh yeah, by the way, Alex Riley wants a piece of John Cena. I don't know if y'all heard that or not. He could be coming back. Alex Riley, Boston College football, former player from Boston College.
We're different. We look different than everyone else. Our biggest concern is preserving who we are, and including our genetic traits. We don't want them to go extinct, just like any other cultures and races. We don't want yours to go extinct, whatever anybody is. So what is it that these globalists want? They want control of everything, including the people. We stand in the way of that, and it's obvious that they are losing, but they're sociopaths that get off on destructing anything beautiful, including countries. And, we're not just going to sit by and allow it to happen. Well, most of us aren't. Everybody needs to start standing up. And because they hate us because we do that, we essentially can stop them. Unfortunately, there's so many that don't even understand that this is going on and that they are at war with us. Let's not forget about oh my goodness, religious prophecies. These narcissistic sociopaths are trying to say things and forge things into existence. Like, let's say bringing about the third temple artificially. You can't do that. Which they feel it's going to bring their Messiah, which Christians and Muslims believe is the Antichrist. When there is governments openly discussing replacing white people, that is extremely sinister. But most people are completely oblivious to all of this. We need to wake up, people. If you care anything about your culture, then you need to wake up.
Former Navy is telling you to wake the fuck up. You need to wake up before you get by the UN and China and God knows who else is coming. But you need to wake up. Because if you don't, by next month, you will wake up. In a hard way.
I mean, we care about other people's cultures. I don't want to erase anyone else's culture or race. But when it comes to the white culture, the white race, nobody seems to really care. Because it's only about the African culture, the Asian cultures, the Spanish cultures, Muslim, Indian, and we're almost a minority. We are the minority of the globe, of the entire, yes, it's a globe. But, they demonize even speaking of the white culture. There was someone that said something about having white babies was somehow racist. But it's insane. We're not the ones trying to get rid of other people's races. They are. And then the white guilt and all that nonsense. This is not about racism. This is about preserving our way, our culture, our race. I know they're different, culture and race is different, but a lot of times they go hand in hand. But there is an obvious plan to replace us, and we have fed into that plan in many ways. And they also are using our compassion, kindness, and naivety against us. They want their competition gone, which is us. And anyone that speaks out en masse against them, they want them gone. And we know that they all think long term. They've been making these plans for hundreds of years, and we need to start thinking long term. We're not ones to just lay there and die and just give up, wave the white flag. That's not who our forefathers were, and that's not who we should be. Like, share, subscribe. I'll have a wonderful day. Bye, guys. If you like what I'm doing on my channel and would like to support me, I have many links. We have survival food, we have makeup, shirts, skincare, all natural, made in the USA. Huge sales right now because of the holidays. Water purifiers, just practically everything you want for Christmas presents. We have my tactical shit, grunt style. Lime Life by Volcano is the skincare and makeup.
Alright guys, that is former Navy Jennifer. I'm going to try to start the next one before we start. I think that was it on her on that one. I got more news to give you. Yeah, I heard her. Yeah. I'm trying to get y'all to the next news before we have the other news. Golly. I'm good with that one probably. Yeah, Lisa Haven warned you on UN. She's right. I was right. Hell, I said it 6 or 7 months ago. Now Lisa Haven's finally waking up to this. Here you go. Check this out. I'll be right back.
You can use some Switch Miss Spirit.
Switch to Boost and get up to 4 free phones and 4 lines for just $100 a month.
New phone!
Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and the United Nations has come out with a dire emergency report stating that if you don't start cutting your carbon dioxide that you breathe out of your mouth and out of your cars, then the whole world is in trouble. If you don't submit to the New World Order Globalist Authority of the United Nations and their Agenda 2030 17 Sustainable Goals, well then you are the cause of the world chaos coming in 2030. If you don't downsize your car, if you don't downsize your home, if you don't open your borders, then my friends, the world is doomed because of people like you. If you don't limit your consumption and make yourself a little poorer and a little more submissive to the New World Order, then you're doomed. And this is via a report by the IPCC. But I want to start with something. Here's the thing. Since God created the earth, there has been climate change. Climate change is normal. It's all part of the process, right? But the way the politics of this has been set up is if it gets hot, they're going to scream, climate change, global warming, cooling, whatever it is. Or if it gets...
And what is climate change, global warming? CERN, Switzerland, pulling everything toward us. The sun flares, the asteroids, the meteors, and the planets. As we already got 12 planets in our solar system now, not 9.
Cold, global cooling, climate change. Or if it does nothing, climate change. Because it obviously fits the narrative. I scream, it's a freaking scam. You are being scammed. They have taken the word climate change, something that happens normally, rolled it into politics, given it to a bunch of political bureaucrats, and put them in charge of the science behind it. When you put government bureaucrats in charge of things like emissions, there's no way to have definitive science on something as foolish as climate change. Because pretty much everyone is going to say, yeah, climate changes, right? And now they've looped it into one big fat scam that follows the narrative of Agenda 2030. And like I stated at the beginning, we all need to panic because by 2030, We're doomed. We're doomed. Check out this report put out by the WashingtonPost.com. The world has just over a decade to get climate change under control, says UN scientists. Here's another one from New York Post. Terrifying climate change warning. 12 years until we're doomed. Here's another, MMN.com. We have 12 years to turn things around, warns Global Climate Report. And CNN, Planet has only until 2030 to stem catastrophic climate change. Experts warn. Are we really all gonna be doomed by 2030? No. They said we'd be doomed, 20 years ago. And then 5 years ago, right? Why are they always wrong? Because it's a sham. But here's where they're getting it from. This is a report from the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the IPCC. It's called Global Warming of 1.5 degrees Celsius. Now, they begin this report on page 6 by labeling human activities as one of the reasons and main causes for global warming, which they're now calling climate change. It goes on to talk about the hazards of CO2, the stuff that you and I breathe out. We breathe in oxygen, we breathe out CO2, and how bad that is hurting the planet. Which, by the way, it's not CO2 that quote unquote heats a planet, it's the flippin' sun. It's all part of the solar cycles. More specifically, we're having a solar minimum right now. It goes on to reference the year 2030 over 31 times in this report, and every time they reference it with devastating situations. In other words, right, if you don't comply to Agenda 2030 within the next 12 years, then you are doomed. If you don't start paying a carbon dioxide tax to the United Nations, then the planet is at risk. See? If you don't downsize that car and stop buying stuff and become more poor and socialize your countries, then you're doomed. It's a sham like no shams we have ever seen before. And you know what? They're following this sham in the good old-fashioned United States of America. Check out this latest report. This one is called the Fourth National Climate Assessment. Now, this assessment is done every 4 years by Congress in order to give a detailed report to the United Nations about the progress that we have made towards quote-unquote sustainable development. Now, as the IPCC report, this report is also very tainted, and it's a pure sham full of lie upon lie upon lie. But the entire idea behind it is that it pushes a New World Order globalist agenda, an agenda that screams your compliance. Let me take you to the summary here. And under the summary, you see communities. They've got about 10 or 12, subtopics within this, but I want to focus on the first one here, communities. It says, future climate change is expected to further disrupt many areas of life, exasperating existing challenges to prosperity posed by aging and deteriorating infrastructure, by stressed ecosystem and economic inequality. Let me just pause. Here's what they're saying. Climate change, changes in climate, not necessarily cooling or global warming or cooling or whatever, because remember they dumped them together, but future climate change is expected to disrupt challenges to prosperity. I'm not quite sure how the two go together, other than, if your house gets burned by a wildfire or your house gets taken over by an earthquake or something like that, yeah, but these are normal parts of, nature. They happen to everyone, rich, poor, doesn't matter what color you are. Nature strikes us all, right? Okay, but it goes on to state that it also messes with prosperity via stressed ecosystems and economic equality. Economic equality is simply the wealth gap between people. How does the wealth gap affect prosperity? It's ludicrous and nonsense writing, right? Okay,
What's up, Violet girl? What did I tell you months ago about this? What she's saying? She was funny, ain't it? Everything's coming true that I had been saying for months. Y'all just better get ready to hover. If you don't have a hover car or a hoverboard or a hover whatever, you're going to be fined $10,000. That's coming to me telling you this. You better wake up. You don't? You think you're broke now? Ladies and gentlemen, the New World Order wants to break you so hard because you don't want to fight back. They want to fight. You're going to put up or shut up? I guarantee you're going to shut up.
It goes on. Impacts within and across regions will not be disrupted.
But I'll be putting up. Because I've got the balls of steel.
Equally. People who are already vulnerable, including lower income and other marginalized communities, have lower capacity to prepare for and cope with extreme weather and climate-related events and are expected to experience greater impacts. So if you're poor or a minority, they're saying you're going to be hit harder because you can't prepare. Wait a minute. Middle class, poor class, rich class, all alike get struck by, I don't know, hurricanes and tornadoes. The hurricanes and tornadoes don't say I'm going to hit the poor house but not the rich house, or I'm going to hit the white girl and not the black girl, or I'm going to hit the Hispanic girl and not the white one. I mean, hello? Nature is not prejudiced, for crying out loud, but it seems that this document is calling nature prejudice. Another insane statement.
Well, be honest with you, Rothschilds is prejudiced. Just thought you might want to know that, Lisa. That's who controls the weather. He who controls the weather controls the world. Great Dane Winnington would say that.
It's how you know that there's an agenda when they start having to make ludicrous ideals to fit the narrative. What happened in California? Houses burned down. It didn't say I'm going to burn the poor house but not the rich house. It took them all. It hits everyone. Absolutely 100% a narrative underway. But that's why I wanted to show you. It goes on to talk about the economy.
Well, God's hitting the rich over there in California. I mean, with meteors and asteroids, and then you got the other people that's trying to play God, China and Rothschilds with their firestorms. Yeah. That's it. That's about it on that deal. I tell you what, I'm on fire tonight. Yeah. Yep.
And it says that climate change is expected to cause growing losses to our infrastructure here in America and our property. No duh. Infrastructure has been deteriorating forever, right? This is why we have museums with deteriorating infrastructure from the past. That's a part of life. It has nothing to do with global warming, climate change, cooling. We prepare for infrastructure changes within the U.S. government, within all governments. It happens. It's not uncommon. It goes on to bring up other topics, and I'm going to breeze through these, but interconnected impacts, actions to reduce risk, water, health. And I have to show you this section in health, but it says populations including older adults, children, low-income communities, and some communities of color are often disproportionately affected and less resilient to the health impacts of climate change. I'm not quite sure, again, why they're making this like it can attack a certain people group. No, everybody's health is affected, no matter how rich or poor you are. Cancer and health risks strike everyone. But it seems our weather is prejudiced. And then there's a few other, I'll just breeze through, indigenous people, ecosystems, agriculture, infrastructure, ocean and coast, tourism, and recreation. In the end, this is all about a fake narrative in order to get you to vote a certain way, get you to believe a certain way, get you to feel and have a...
And if you believe and feel like them and everything a certain way, well, we're going to rub you the wrong way a certain way in here, because if you believe in the New World Order, George Soros's Hitler bullshit, we're going to slam you so hard that you're going to wish you did listen. And that's what's best for business, because nobody is listening to their crap. Nobody. And if you are, you're being paid by George Soros, the Black Lives Matter people. You've been paid off. I know a lot of people are sick and not feeling good and everything, but you need to do one thing for me. Share. Because if you don't, by next month, you're going to wish you did.
Leading heart towards the United Nations, who's trying to save the planet, who twisted your word climate change and made it where you cannot deny it. We're a scientist who studies changes in climate has to now admit that, yeah, there's changes in climate. But when they admit that, something that's happened for decades and years and since, I don't know, God created the earth, now it's looped into global warming, climate, lie. How's that? That's like calling a healthcare plan affordable healthcare plan when it's anything but. That's how you know that they're lying out their teeth, because it does the opposite, and there's a narrative so much deeper. And this one is such a lie that they had to take a word that has been standard for decades and make the word a negative and mix the two together. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning into my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to my backup channel, Lisa Haven. It's below in the description box. Also subscribe to this one. And don't forget to check out my partner at Virtual Shield. It's hidewithlisa.com. Right now, they have some amazing specials over the Christmas holiday. If you want to keep your loved ones safe and, you know...
Lisa Haven, folks. Just like I predicted a long time ago that this was going to happen. Now, the question is, are you ready for it? Is anybody ready for what's about to happen? Huh? Is anybody? Nobody? Here's your story before it goes off. Check this out. Anonymous, by the way.
Greetings, citizens of the world.
Hold on. Yeah.
A liberal lawyer from New York has been found guilty of widespread asylum fraud after she was caught running a scheme to help criminal immigrants enter the U.S. Andrea Dumitru at Parquet Label EU was running a fraudulent immigration system that would allow dangerous criminals to be granted asylum in America by forging documents and fabricating their history. Jeffrey S. Berman, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, said in a statement, Andrea Dumitru, an immigration attorney, scammed the asylum program, which was designed to provide safe harbor for the world's most vulnerable people. She will now serve time in prison for her crimes. Berman said that between 2013 and 2017, Dumitru submitted more than 180 fraudulent I-589 forms, application for asylum and for withholding of removal, in which she knowingly made false statements about the applicant's travel histories, criminal histories, and personal narratives of alleged persecution. He added that Dumitru deliberately forged her client's signatures, falsely notarized affidavits, and fabricated detailed personal stories of purported mistreatment of her clients. An immigration and customs enforcement agent said the woman's actions were harmful also because they obstructed timely processing of claims by legitimate asylum seekers. Dumitru is alleged to have used her trusted position to defraud the government, submitting fraudulent documents to claim asylum, said Homeland Security Investigations Special Agent in Charge Angel M. Melendez, according to a QNS report. Her alleged actions took up time and resources while those with valid asylum claims waited in line. Now, Dumitru will enter a courtroom as a defendant to face the consequences for her alleged actions. Dumitru was found guilty on one count of asylum fraud, which carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison, one count of making false statements, which carries a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison, and one count of aggravated identity theft, which carries a mandatory consecutive sentence of 2 years in prison. United States District Judge Lewis A. Kaplan presided over the defendant's 2-week trial at a federal court in Manhattan. No sentencing date has been announced. Criminal tax fraud. According to a QNS report, Dumitru served as Chief Financial Officer of Taxi Club Management Incorporated, a company with a fleet of more than 800 medallion taxi cabs with locations in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Woodside, and Long Island City. In 2017, she and business partner Evgeny Friedman were both charged with 4 counts of first-degree criminal tax fraud and 1 count of first-degree grand larceny for failing to pay $5 million worth of 50-cent Metropolitan Transportation Authority, MTA, surcharges for each ride. Dumitru's attorney, Kurt Haas, argued in court papers reported on by the Times Union that Friedman misled and victimized her. Ms. Dumitru was in many ways victimized by co-defendant Friedman, Haas stated, according to the report. He wrote that Dumitru was kept in the dark with respect to the vast majority of co-defendant Friedman's business dealings and was without knowledge of his alleged criminality. Dumitru is the owner of Andrea Dumitru and Associates, a law firm with an office in Queens, New York.
There you have it on that, folks. People are disappearing left and right. They're actually going to jail privately, like they're going underground, like they're acting like they're going to jail. Remember that, what I just said. If you want me to stay on here for a little bit longer and give you more news, I do have more news. Just hit that like and subscribe, and tell me on the comments if you want me to stay. If you don't, I'll leave. And I'll come back if I get more subscribers and likes and shares in this video. I'll come back again. But I can see that none of y'all care, and I can see that y'all want to follow the sheep. Well, follow the goats, sheep, because the goats that you're following on YouTube are disappearing because they're not on gaming like me. Just thought you might want to know that, because that's why I'm still here. Hello, Truth Seekers. Hello, Andrew. What's up from Rated R Superstar? What's up? I'm trying. What's up, Irish? You wanted me on here. You got to show it. Share it, share, share, share. I share every hour. The same video every hour. Because that's how I do it. On my Facebooks, excuse me. So if you want me to stay, let me know. If you don't, I got more news. Don't get me wrong, I have been hitting it hard today, but I'm not feeling good. But I'm still here, and I will work hard for y'all. Let's see here. I already talked about Mary Greeley. I've already talked about the U.S. courts wants to bring Julian Assange in. Let's see here. We already talked about the 43. No, we didn't. 4,300 VA employees fired. Did y'all hear about that? 4,300 VAs. I told you they didn't care about your military, your former military that fought for you. They just fired 4,300 of them. If y'all want to hear that story, let me know. Anybody out there yet? It's shared on my Facebook page tonight. Thank you. Thank you very much. The ones that cares. The ones that pedophiles, sexual harassment, threats, bullies, Satanists. Screw you. That's all I got to say. Yes, for sure. All right. Thank you, Violet. You never found me on Facebook. Were you just kidding? I'm there. I promise you. I've got a skeleton looking like on there. I was a DOD nurse. Cool. Awesome. I dated a nurse before. She was great. I'm following you. You're following me? Okay. I did not know that. Cool. Follow me first, because that's how you get your notifications. 6 storms in 6 time, Coronel. Oh, shoot. 6 storms. Yes, breaking news. This is big. Utah, watch out. Coronel, Hole, it's getting weird. Sun flares are getting worse, folks. This could be what we've been talking about. Tomorrow could be a big day, folks. If Pelosi wins the House, look for more earthquakes. Okay, get ready.
Volcanoes? That shit is too hard to track. Give me something easy, like carbon. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the month where I start to act really weird. So you've been warned. Also, we have fantastic new ice crystal formations, and it's like these sun dogs have a mind of their own, where they're evolving over time, which is something civilization used to do, but then it started going retrograde. Anytime we get one like this, we always take the weird weather watch up a notch. So, you might be saying, what is the sun doing? And let me tell you, it is doing strange things, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
We have a coronal hole rotating around. But now, what is true about this coronal hole is that this will be the 6th time that it's come around. That this same coronal hole with a chevron shape will be facing us. It looks like a bow shock to me.
Bow shock. The heck?
And so, the coronal hole is an opening in the sun that will spew out fast-moving solar wind, which will then hit Earth's magnetic shield and light it up with charged particles.
Light it up.
And get the atmosphere all frizzy-haired. And so, someone should do a really cool, sciencey thing that shows us, because that storm will hit on around December 1st. It shows us the storms that followed about 3 days after we got hit by the solar storm. And one of the Thor News things we look at is whenever we are facing a giant coronal hole, sometimes the earthquake activity goes up. More often than not, really. And that's usually when we're directly facing, or when the solar wind hits. So, take your earthquake and volcano watch up a notch. And we're still monitoring the planets, because if this were a slice of the pie, only these slices are left. I didn't explain that very well. Anyway, but just think about it. Like, think of all these planets being in this one area. No matter what, that is cool. I know planets aren't as cool to people as they used to be back in the day before radios, televisions, and smartphones. But they're still really cool, man. And check out Sirius lately. Sirius is not a planet, he's a star, right by Orion. He's been shining like a double star lately. Maybe even triple. Anyway, to have all these planetary bodies in the same space, that's very fascinating. And so, now we're about to get into the wild and weird, wacky weather. Because, yeah, it's going to get wild, weird, and wacky. And California, you are on high red alert for mudslides and rain events. And I hear the UK is about to get really rainy as well.
Oh, And look for some earthquakes too in California. I can't believe it did not say that, but I'm telling you, something big is about to happen in California. I warned y'all.
And I want to point this out right here. The models, which have been really shaky lately, they have what would be Category 1 or Category 2 hurricane strength. I'm not saying it's a hurricane. I'm just saying that some of the winds, the wind gusts, could have somewhere near hurricane speeds. All right? And I'm just going by what the models say. Oh, I meant to show you guys something. I didn't pull it up yet. Okay, here we go. I'm still kind of rusty. I feel like every time I get back on my feet, something knocks me back off. And I get all discombobulated again. And it's hard to talk to people about serious stuff with the right disposition. Did I use those words correctly, or did I end up looking like a dumbass? Dang it. Okay. We're talking about on this Thursday storm. It's the first we'll cover, but like here, let's look at this. Like this is 65 miles an hour.
That's what the plan is. It's already been planned. It's already decided. Rated R. Like I said, if she wins the house tomorrow, we're in trouble. And then that will be the sign, December the 1st, like Mr. Caddy and I said in my dream. I said the dream first, and then he said something about it, and then somebody sent me that video, and I was like, holy cow, I've never met Mr. Caddy in my entire life. And this is really, really, really getting to me right now. I'm telling you, we're about to go to war with Pelosi. Yes, you heard me right. Pelosi is your Lisa Simpson cartoon president.
Hour 70, 63. So, but if you look at it, a lot of windy areas across the globe.
Just think about it. Just think about it. Who's going to Argentina? Who's going to the G20? Not Mike Pence. Mike Pence is going to be over there at the dictatorship over there in Mexico with all the immigrants and the migrants and the everything over there. And they're going to act like they take him down and he's going to go underground. And then Donald Trump gets on his Air Force One heading toward Mexico to stop by, but he never makes it. That was my dream, folks. That was my dream.
And big blobs. Isn't that crazy? That's some of the windiest I've seen the atmosphere ever. So I'm just pointing that out to you, that this is some of the windiest I've seen the upper atmosphere collectively, or in giant pod creature things that we're seeing. Anyway, so this is the GFS run. Wait, I need to point out the serious shit first. Dang it. Where was I at?
And what did I tell you? From November the 20th to December the 20th, we were going to have the wildest weather because Wormwood is floating over us right now. Seriously, that's why they don't want us to see it. They don't want us to see that big red jack-o'-lantern. Looks like a jack-o'-lantern. It's red and it's got nothing but... What I'm scared of is them asteroids.
Regions. Did I mention I was rusty? Okay. So one thing I wanted to show was the total accumulated precipitation. And so over a 16-day span. Now the models have backed off it a little, but I think it was Monday night's 18Z was the one that worst, like, this has been the worst run so far. And if it became anything like this run, this would be giant swaths of anywhere from 10 to 20 inches of rain.
Yeah. I believe in Violet Girl. She's a good person. All of y'all are. I'm just not feeling good. And this news is just absolutely blowing me away.
In giant portions of the West Coast. And so, if anything close to that happens, that is going to cause major problems for the West Coast.
Yep.
After their terrible fire, the deadliest fire in California history, the mudslides and landslides would just be gruesome.
Yep. I already called it 2 weeks ago.
So we will have to watch out for that. And like I'm saying, Thursday's storm.
Remember, I called this 2 weeks ago that this was coming. He's just now announcing it. Remember who gave me the tricks of the trade. Edward Snowden knows their plan, knows what they're doing ahead of time. Oh, oh my, Violet. Damn. What? You could have beat him. You could have beat him up, not kill him or anything, or threaten to kill him. You don't want to go to hell for it. Wow. Well, we're going to kill the NWO. How about that? The best one yet. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you'll see. We don't know which God you believe in when we believe in the one in heaven.
Has category 1 strength. Wind gust potential until further notice. But one thing I would like to explain. Dang, I just hit the wrong button. When I say hit the button, baby, I usually mean hit the right button. Okay. One thing I would like to explain, if I can, if you are still with me.
That's right. Which I called it 2 weeks ago. Now he's just now getting there. He's a little bit slow, but it's okay. I mean, I said this was coming 2 weeks ago. He's still high, and I'm not. So I drive like a Lamborghini, and he's in a Volkswagen because he's high.
The pattern used to go like to here, and then it would kick straight up, and it would come down through here, and then you get your jet tip down, and then it would bust out through here, right? And then sometimes during summer you get the moisture added in from here, and then the hurricane, the most active Pacific hurricane season of all time, would sometimes add moisture in through here. And so that was the normal pattern we've been dealing with. But now, the new variable, as you can see, instead of going up, it's just coming through. And so then it comes in, comes down, and then up and out. So that is like a brand new pattern. And it looks to be consistent, which could spell major rain.
These storms are just like a Confederate belt, folks. It's going round and around and around. Like I said was going to happen until Wormwood disappears. If Wormwood disappears, we won't have this crazy weather. But like former Navy John Moore said, he said this in 2015, that our weather was going to get worse as we were getting closer to 2020, 2021, 2022. It's going to get bad, guys. We haven't seen nothing yet. You really think you've seen something? No. No, former Navy's right. Ex-CIA is right. Ex-NSA is right. They're on target. I got the right news, and nobody else does. BP Earthwatch don't even know what he's doing. no more because he's had the NWO come to his house like they did to me, and it ain't stopping me. It's stopping him because he's an old man and he can't even get it up no more.
California, and the total of the West Coast. Though Washington used to bear the brunt of the worst rains. And so that is definitely something we're going to be watching. And so this will be the portion of the show where I say, smoke 'em if you got 'em.
How about not smoking when you got 'em because you're an idiot? The only thing I'll talk about is the damn weather, not your damn drug habit. And I'm sorry. That's why you ain't saved no money. That's why you ain't got nothing. Your drugs is more important than money. That's all I got to say about that. Let's see here. What's the next news? We got more news, I promise you. Let's see here. Yep. On to that one. Smoking if you got 'em. Yeah. Stick 'em straight up your rear end if you got 'em. Maybe that'll blow 'em real good. Alright, let's see here. Yeah. That's cool. I'm just doing game designs and gaming because I'm giving out the real news. It's nothing about, you know, stuff like that. So. But I'm not seeing anybody that's watching. I'm not seeing who's liking or anything like that. All I can say is it's not about subscribers. It's all about views. If you want more news, you got to subscribe. You know what I mean? But I've got a lot of people following me on Facebook. There's going to be a lot of people subscribing to me from Facebook and everything. So, let's go to the news. Corsi, I want y'all to hear about this. Corsi
I just feel so blessed to have found this
is
program.
big right now. So, check this out. Corsi declines deep state's deal. I'm not going to lie. So, here we go.
Without this program, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you today. And I think so many women feel like they have no place to go.
Here we go.
Corsi responded, I don't know.
I'll be dang. This is anonymous lady. She's pretty good. Time's up.
Investigative journalist and author Dr. Jerome Corsi, an associate of Trump ally Roger Stone, said Monday he will refuse a plea deal with Robert Mueller following reports last week that he was in talks with the special counsel. Earlier this month, Corsi said in a video he posted online that he expected to be indicted by Mueller, whom he has said is targeting him because of his longtime support for POTUS Donald Trump. Mueller's team believes that Corsi was an intermediary between Stone and WikiLeaks founder.
All right, guys. This show's over. But if you want me to come back, like I said, at 9 o'clock, subscribe, like, and share. That's all I'm asking. The ones that's been donating on my Facebook, thank you. And the ones that's been coming to work, working with me and everything, thank you. Your blood is on your hands. If you don't, that's understandable. That's your business. But I got more work to do. I got a lot to do. One of my contacts, what is it? Connects? Says a new round of censorship and page deletes are coming to Facebook and Twitter. No, they're not. No, they're not. The only way your stuff is going to delete if asteroids hit, and that's what the plan is. The asteroids that's coming from CERN, Switzerland, that's pulling everything toward us, will knock everything out. Will knock your... Well, you'll be off too. I'm just giving you a heads up. Facebook, YouTube, and all Instagram, everything will be knocked off. Your YouTube will be going right into the water along with California. I'll see you later. Have a nice day. I've got some more work to do. I will be back at 9 o'clock Central Time. Love you all. Be safe.
Julian is...
Oh, shoot, hit the wrong button.